Hey guys, happy Valentine's Day or happy Single Awareness Day, whichever you, or no holiday if you don't celebrate anything. Mine was kind of not boring, mine's not over yet, but I'm home alone. So I watched Pulp Fiction, I made spaghetti, I ate lots of Oreos, and I was gonna play Majora's Mask, but I don't really want to, because I got up to a certain point and it was way too hard, and I was like, I never want to play again. But I do want to play and finish it, because guess what, guys? If you didn't know, I finally finished Ocarina of Time. I'm 20 and I finally finished. Yeah, the game came out when I was 8, and I didn't get to play it until, like, last year / this year. So, yeah. But I did it. Anyway, I'm pretty much here to tell you, or talk to you, about this side quest. If you're watching this, either you're a friend of mine, or you think I'm sexy, or you saw the title and you're like, oh hey, what's that? Or you're like, oh hey, whatever. Anyway, so pretty much, it's called the Biggoron Sword side quest. Now, surprisingly, some people don't know about this, even though they've been playing the game since they were wee little people. So, I'm not, I don't want to make a video and then you're like, oh duh, obviously I've been playing since I was like in my mother's womb. It's like, okay, calm down, it's not a contest. But I actually found this out by accident, so in case you didn't know about it, or you never took the time, like you kind of knew about it, but you're just like, whatever, it's not worth my time. I just want to tell you about it, because if you like the game, but it's annoying, just like I do, yeah, it definitely helps. So pretty much the Biggoron sword is the sword that you get from the big Goron. Normally with the Master Sword you have you can hold your shield, you can hold your sword. With the Biggoron sword, it's so big that you have to use both hands. You can't use your shield. That's the only bad part. But the good thing is it's pretty much the the best sword in all the game. So basically, where you would kill an enemy with, say, 5 hits, now it only takes 1 or 2. Example, right? Re-deads are kind of annoying because, if you try to get too close, they go, ah! And then you're like, and then it comes close to you and starts humping you, and you're like, fuck. Anyway, with the Biggoron sword, it's longer too, so you can just run up to them, slash, and then they're dead. It's awesome. I hate re-deads. So anyway, if you kind of knew about it or didn't know about it for sure, I found out about it when I was an adult. I don't know how else you're supposed to find it. I know some people find the Medigoron, the medium big one, and he's like, oh, I'll give you this thingy for 200 rupees. I just found I researched it, and some people do it this way. And then you get the giant's knife. That's what it's initially called, and it's like, oh my god, this is so awesome. And then it breaks. Luckily, I didn't have to go through that. Otherwise, I'd be like, fuh. The way I didn't even know about it really until I actually looked through the walkthrough, I know. But I knew what to do next. So pretty much, you need 3 things to do this quest. Technically 2, but the third one makes your life a whole lot easier. First, you need to free Epona, or to have Epona, and usually, if you're an adult, you should have Epona. If you don't, why? Second thing is you need to do this after the ice cavern, whatever, so you need to free King Zora. If you haven't done that, go back and get some blue fire and go unfreeze him, because that's mean. Well, you need to anyway. Doesn't he give you, the blue tunic? Whatever. Okay. The third thing to do that will help a lot with this is, plant the magic bean as a child in front of Dodongo's cavern, so that when you're older, it takes you up, well, not to the very top, but to the top-ish of Death Mountain, so you have more time to do this, because most of these, it's a trading sequence. You do this, and then you do this, and then that, and that, and that, and then blah, blah, blah. But most of them are timed, or at least half of them. And the last one I did twice, because the first time I almost did it, and then I pressed the wrong button, and then I had to start over from... Anyway, so the first thing you do is when you're in Kakariko Village, you know that cuckoo lady, the chicken lady? Well, when you're an adult, you don't have to find chickens. But she's like, oh, hey, here's an egg. So you're like, na 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 na, and then it's supposed to hatch. And you take that egg, and in one of the houses, there's a sleeping guy, and if you haven't noticed, it's Malon's father, and you wake him up with this chicken. So when you wake him up, you take the egg back to the chicken lady, and the chicken lady gives you Kojiro. It's the blue chicken. And it's never, like, it never makes noise. It never goes, grr, grr, even though I think roosters are supposed to do that, not chickens, but whatever. So, anyway, with this, when you're in the Lost Woods, you're going to find this sketchy little guy sleeping, and so you wake him up with the blue chicken. Ironically, it used to be his, or something like that, so it wakes him up, and he's like, no. He gives you a mushroom. I don't know why. Honestly, none of these make sense, really. So you get a mushroom, but it's gonna go bad. So you have to deliver it to the old lady, the old potion lady person in Kakariko. So not the potion shop, but the potion shop behind the potion shop. You have to go through the potion shop, out the door, jump off, go up the stairs and into the other back house, whatever, and there's the lady. Okay. She gives you the odd potion, which luckily is not timed. Thank God. But you go back to that guy in the Lost Woods, and you find out he's not there, but some sketchy little Kokiri kid is. And she's like, here's a saw! It's like, why do you have a saw? These kids need parents. So, that one's not timed. But you take the saw to the carpenter in front of Gerudo Valley. Like, okay, to get across, either use a long shot or Epona. Just get a running start. There's like a broken bridge. Just, you can gallop and run on Epona and go, whee! It's awesome. I was like, that's the coolest thing ever! Or just long shot it, yo. So, he gives you the saw, and he's like, sweet, I can use that for stuff. And he gives you the broken Biggoron sword, and you're like, what's the point? So, considering it says the Biggoron sword, Gorons usually are in mountains and stuff. So you go to the top of Death Mountain, and you see this giant-ass Biggoron. But poor little guy has dust in his eyes or volcanic ash. So he gives you a prescription, because he's like, yo man, I can't get the drops myself. I can't see where I'm going. I'm going to step on everyone. So you have to go to the prescription, whatever. The guy with the prescription, or the guy who has the prescription is, the guy who's supposed to have the damn eye drops is King Zora. So you go to him. He doesn't have it. He's like, maybe we do have it. Maybe we don't. He doesn't have it. So he gives you an eyeball frog or something like that, and you have to deliver it within 3 minutes to the potion guy at Lakeside Laboratory. I'm sweating, honestly. It's such a workout, just even thinking about it. Epona helps a lot getting there. Okay, so he's all excited, and he's like, woohoo! He finally gives you the eye drops that you need, which you have to deliver to the Biggoron in 4 minutes. And that might seem like a long time in gameplay, but it's not at all. And that's where the magic bean planted as a child will come in handy. Because you have to rush on Epona, get to whatever. You cannot use the Ocarina for any of these to warp. You have to physically go there. So you use you use Epona, you get to whatever, in front of Dodongo's Cavern. Hopefully you planted that thing so you can go at the top. You save, I don't know how many seconds, but it counts. Luckily there's no things falling, so you're not going to get hit. But there are those spiders on the wall that you have to climb up of, and there's a giant, whatever it's called, that drops on you, and you're like, okay, we're almost at the end. You give him the potion, or the eye drops, and he's like, yeah, I can see. And so he, like, fixes your sword, but it has to be done in 3 days, or whatever, so he gives you a claim check that you have to hold on to. But luckily, you know the Sun Song, unless you don't, but I don't see why you wouldn't. So you play the Sun Song, I don't know how many times, 6? 3? 6, yeah. And then, finally, you go back to the Biggoron, and you get the Biggoron sword. Honestly, after getting that, everything's so much easier. And when you're defeating or fighting Ganon, and you know how he throws your Master Sword, you still have a sword, the Biggoron sword. So, woo! I honestly went to all this trouble because I was too scared to defeat Dark Link. I'm like, no! Yeah, I went to all that trouble, got the sword. When I finally faced him for the second time, because I died, I didn't have any Fairies and I was low on hearts and stuff. But the second time I went, whatever, I didn't even use the sword at all. Like, not even once. So, you can laugh at me if you want. It's kind of funny. I ended up beating him by not L targeting, or Z targeting, whatever you want to call it, and by using the hammer. The Megaton hammer. And Din's Fire a few times, but mostly the hammer. And he died pretty quick, considering. I was like, wow, that's it? Fuck yeah. So, hopefully you learned something if you didn't know about it, because you may have played this game, like, all these years and been like, I don't know what to do next. Or maybe you're, like, really pro, or, like, you know, never go outside, so you have time to learn all these things. Or you're a cheater and look at walkthroughs. But yeah, it's worth it to have, and this way it doesn't break, and you don't have to pay 200 rupees. So don't get that Biggoron's sword, because that's just a waste of money, a waste of time. Just go straight to the chicken lady when you're an adult and start on your sequence. And I wish you good luck. Thank you.